Hello, my friend. Welcome to this quiet space. Welcome to a gentle journey. Tonight we will explore a surprising truth about life long ago. We often talk about going to the gym, finding time for our workouts, don't we? But what if I told you our medieval ancestors didn't need a gym? What if their entire lives were, in essence, one continuous, demanding full body workout? Please allow your body to gently relax. Perhaps you can let your shoulders soften. Perhaps you can take a slow, quiet breath, feeling it fill you, then softly release. Just allow yourself to settle in. We are about to step back in time. Imagine a world without machines, without engines, without electricity. Every task, every necessity, every movement relied entirely on human strength, endurance, and ingenuity. From dawn until dusk, their bodies were constantly engaged. We will not dwell on hardship, my friend. Instead, we will gently observe their efforts, their consistent functional movements, their simple yet profound physical lives. We will see how their daily existence built a level of strength and stamina that few of us achieve today. In our comfortable, often sedentary modern lives, we often seek out exercise. We schedule workouts, we force ourselves to move. This can sometimes add another layer of effort, even stress, to our busy minds. But what if for medieval people physical activity was simply part of being alive? What if their fitness was functional fitness deeply integrated into their survival? There was no need for forced workouts. Their bodies were always in motion, always engaged performing tasks, essential for their very existence. This constant natural exertion led to a profound deep exhaustion, not the wired fatigue of an overstimulated mind, but the satisfying weariness of a body genuinely used. Tonight we will gently turn back the pages of history. We will embark on a calm journey through the physically demanding lives of medieval people. Each chapter will gently reveal a different everyday activity that surprisingly constituted a workout harder than most of us know. My hope is that by understanding their world, by allowing your mind to gently wander through these moments of honest physical exertion, you can find a profound sense of retrospective relaxation in your own life. You can feel the quiet comfort of your present ease, and perhaps appreciate how their constant effort led them effortlessly to deep restorative sleep. This isn't just history. It's a peaceful reflection, a soothing whisper from the past, inviting us to appreciate the simplicity of their path to rest and to guide you towards your own deep restorative slumber. So take another slow, quiet breath. Let your body feel heavy and safe. Let us begin our peaceful journey into the slumber of forgotten times. Imagine, if you will, a small medieval village nestled in a verdant valley. The sun has just begun to peek over the horizon, casting a soft golden glow across the landscape. As the roosters crow, the villagers stir from their slumber, ready to face another day of physical toil. Picture a farmer rising from his humble bed, his muscles already aching from yesterday's labor, but there is no time to rest. The fields beckon and the crops won't tend themselves. He steps out into the cool morning air, his breath visible in the crisp dawn. As he makes his way to the fields, imagine the weight of the wooden plow he must push, the strain on his arms and back as he guides it through the tough earth row after row. Hour after hour he works the soil, his body in constant motion. His legs push against the resistant earth, his arms guide the plow, his core engaged to maintain balance. This is not a workout he chose, but one that chose him, one that his very survival depends upon. Now let your mind wander to the village blacksmith. The heat of the forge warms the cool morning air. as he begins his day. Imagine the strength required to wield the heavy hammer, the precision needed to shape the glowing metal, the constant movement from forge to anvil and back again. His arms, shoulders, and chest grow strong with each strike of the hammer, his legs sturdy as he maintains his stance for hours on end. Consider the village women as they go about their daily tasks, carrying heavy buckets of water from the well, their arms and core strengthened. With each trip, kneading bread, dough their hands and forearms, developing surprising strength. Scrubbing clothes by hand in the river, their entire bodies engaged in a repetitive motion. As the day progresses, picture the woodcutter in the nearby forest. His axe rises and falls in a steady rhythm. Each swing a full-body workout, engaging his arms, core, and legs. The constant bending and lifting to gather the fallen wood further tests his endurance and strength. In the fields, the harvesters work tirelessly. Their bodies bend and stretch as they gather the crops. Their arms grow strong from wielding scythes and carrying heavy baskets. The sun beats down upon them, but they cannot rest, for winter is coming, and the harvest must be brought in. As evening approaches, imagine the villagers returning home, their bodies weary from a day of constant movement. Yet there are still chores to be done, animals to be fed, fires to be stoked, meals to be prepared. Finally, as night falls, they retire to their beds, their muscles ache with the satisfying soreness of a day well spent. Their minds, free from the worries of modern life, drift easily into a deep restorative sleep, the kind of sleep that comes naturally after a day of honest physical labor. Life in medieval times was like a never-ending dance, right? It was all about moving and resting, working hard, and then kicking back. No fancy gym memberships or strict workout plans. Fitness was just part of their everyday lives, you know? As you lie here in your cozy bed, take a moment to really appreciate how easy life is for us today. You know, it's okay to let go of any guilt about skipping workouts or not hitting those fitness goals. Instead, just allow yourself to drift into a peaceful slumber, feeling all warm and relaxed. Think about it, our ancestors didn't have fancy gyms or personal trainers. They found their rest through the natural rhythms of their lives, working hard during the day, and then enjoying a well-deserved sleep at night. So embrace this moment and let your body recharge just like they did. You deserve it. Let the gentle whispers of history lull you to sleep. Allow the echoes of their daily toil to remind you of the comfort you now enjoy. Close your eyes and drift off into dreams of simpler times, where fitness was not a choice, but a way of life, where sleep came easily after a day of honest labor, where the body and mind found harmony in the natural rhythms of existence. Drift off now, my friend, and may your dreams be cozy and filled with sweet memories from days gone by. Manual plowing, upper body and core. Now, my friend, let us delve deeper into the world of the medieval farmer, a world of sweat, toil, and unyielding strength. Imagine the life of these hardy souls, whose very existence depended on the power of their bodies and the fertility of the land. For countless generations, farming was a manual endeavor, relying on simple tools and raw human strength. At the heart of this arduous life was the task of plowing, perhaps the most demanding of all agricultural duties. Picture a farmer, hands calloused and weathered, gripping the handles of a heavy wooden plow. In some cases, a strong ox might pull this implement, but often it was the farmer's own strength that drove the plow through the stubborn earth. This was no gentle stroll through a garden, my friend. This was a powerful, continuous effort that engaged every muscle in the body. Imagine the resistance of the earth, the constant need to maintain balance and direction as the plow cut through the soil. With every step, every furrow, the farmer's shoulders strained, arms tensed, back flexed, and core tightened. It was a slow, grinding, full-body workout that lasted for hours under the unforgiving sun. This wasn't just about lifting weights in a comfy gym, you know? This was about farmers moving the very earth itself, day in and day out, through every season. Picture them out there, battling the elements, rain, sun, wind, working tirelessly to grow food for their communities. Their strength isn't built through fancy machines or isolated workouts. It's forged in the dirt through sweat and grit, a necessity born of survival. Think about it. Every time they plow a field or haul a heavy sack of grain, they're not just getting stronger, they're showing us the power of hard work and dedication. It's pretty inspiring, right? Picture this. As the plow slices through the rich, dark earth, you can almost feel the farmer's muscles working hard, right? It's like a symphony of strength. The core is always engaged, holding everything together while pushing that plow forward, making sure it doesn't veer off course. The arms and shoulders are in perfect harmony, guiding this heavy tool like it's second nature. And those legs? They're digging in, pushing against the stubborn soil with every determined step. This isn't just about looking strong. It's about real, functional strength that's all about the crucial job of feeding families and communities. It's raw, it's gritty, and it's absolutely essential. Isn't that amazing? The farmer's physical challenges didn't just stop at plowing. Oh, no, it was just the beginning. The whole agricultural cycle, from sowing those tiny seeds to harvesting the bountiful crops, was a non-stop, full-body workout. Picture this, the farmer striding through the freshly plowed fields, arms swinging in a smooth rhythm, scattering seeds into the furrows. It might seem like a simple task, but it's done thousands of times, day in and day out. This isn't just about raw strength. It's about building endurance and having that precise muscle control to get it just right. It's like a dance, really, where every movement counts, and the farmer's body becomes a finely tuned machine, working in harmony with the land. Isn't that incredible? Imagine the sower's steady gait, right? There's something mesmerizing about that controlled swing of the arm, the way they make those subtle adjustments to get the seeds just right. It's like a dance, really. Hour after hour, day after day, this repetitive motion builds a different kind of strength. Not that explosive power you see when plowing, but a deep, enduring strength that keeps them going. It's all about maintaining that rhythm, feeling the earth beneath their feet, and knowing every seed has a chance to grow. It's a beautiful blend of patience and perseverance, don't you think? And then, my friend, came the harvest. Imagine bending, stooping, and swinging a heavy scythe to cut the ripened grain. The constant motion, the repetitive twisting of the torso, the strength required in the legs and back to manage the heavy bundles of crops. This wasn't a single, isolated exercise. It was a sustained, comprehensive, full-body engagement that lasted from dawn to dusk. Think of the farmer's body, moving with a rhythm born of necessity and honed by years of practice. The swing of the scythe, a fluid motion that engaged every major muscle group, the core twisting and stabilizing with each cut, the arms and shoulders providing the power behind each swing, the legs and back supporting the body through hours of repetitive motion. This was their daily gym, right? Built out of necessity and fueled by that primal urge to survive. There were no rest days or fancy recovery plans. It was all about pushing through. Imagine hauling heavy loads, sprinting through rough terrain, and climbing steep hills day after day. This relentless grind forged a crazy level of strength and stamina that just became part of their lives. It wasn't just exercise. It was survival, a way of life that shaped who they were. As the sun set on the fields, imagine the farmer's body, used from morning until night in these essential tasks. The deep, satisfying physical exhaustion that naturally invited profound sleep. This wasn't the fleeting tiredness of a modern workout, but a bone-deep weariness born of honest, vital labor. Yet, with the dawn, they would rise again, muscles aching, but ready for another day of toil. This cycle of work and rest, effort and recovery built not just strength, but resilience. The farmer's body was a testament to the power of consistent, purposeful physical effort. But the demands on the medieval body weren't limited to the fields. As we turn our gaze from the open farmlands to the imposing structures that dotted the landscape, we encounter another source of immense physical challenge. Imagine, if you will, the monumental task of building walls and castles. These weren't the prefabricated structures of our modern world, but massive edifices of stone, each block cut, moved, and placed by human hands and human strength. Imagine a bustling quarry where giant blocks of stone are pulled from the earth like hidden treasures. The quarrymen, their arms strong and calloused from years of hard work, swing their heavy hammers and chisels with skill. Each strike is like a dance, perfectly timed to split the stone along its natural lines. You can almost feel the energy in the air as they work together, turning raw rock into something beautiful. It's tough work, but there's something incredibly satisfying about shaping nature into art, right? Just think about how those blocks might end up as stunning sculptures or majestic buildings, bringing life to the world around us. Once cut, these massive blocks had to be moved. Imagine the strain, the sheer physical effort required to shift these enormous weights. This wasn't about isolated muscle groups or carefully targeted exercises. This was full body engagement, every muscle working in concert to accomplish a single vital task. Think of the teamwork involved, groups of men coordinating their efforts to move stones that no individual could hope to budge. The synchronization of movement, the shared strain, the collective grunt of effort as a massive block inched forward. This was strength built not in isolation, but in community, each man's effort amplifying and supporting the others. And then came the task of building. Imagine standing at the base of a rising castle wall, looking up at the dizzying height still to be achieved. Each stone had to be lifted, carefully placed, and securely mortared. This wasn't just about brute strength, but also balance, precision, and endurance. As the walls rose, think of the constant climbing required. Up and down rickety ladders carrying tools and materials. This wasn't a planned cardio workout. but a necessary part of the job that built endurance and leg strength to rival any modern athlete. All this incredible work happened without the fancy tools of modern nutrition or sports science. Can you believe it? These were bodies shaped by necessity, powered by good, simple food, and pushed by the basic need to build a safe home and feel secure. As we think about these incredible efforts, whether on the battlefield or scaling those massive castle walls, it's wild to realize just how strong our medieval ancestors really were. They didn't hit the gym or follow fancy workout plans. Nope, their strength came from the tough daily grind of survival, like hauling heavy stones for castle construction or running through forests to hunt for food. Can you imagine that kind of life? It's a testament to their sheer willpower and determination. Their bodies were testaments to the power of consistent, purposeful physical effort. Each day's labor not only accomplished vital tasks, but also sculpted bodies of incredible strength, endurance, and functionality. This was fitness with a purpose, strength built not for show, but for life itself. Quarrying stone, brute force, and endurance. Now, my friend, let us turn our attention to the monumental task of building walls and castles in medieval times. Picture the sheer raw strength required to construct these enduring symbols of the age. Imagine men swinging heavy picks and hammers, chipping away at solid rock face for hours on end. This was the work of quarrying stone, a test of continuous endurance that pushed the human body to its very limits. Think about the jarring impact on their arms and shoulders with every swing, the powerful leg and core strength needed to maintain their stance and deliver effective blows. The dust, the sweat, the relentless repetition. Each stone, once freed from the earth, had to be moved often with simple levers or rollers, requiring immense collective effort. This initial stage of quarrying was an all-encompassing strength-building endeavor. And once the stones were quarried, they had to be transported and placed. This was the domain of lifting and hauling, a constant demonstration of teamwork and sheer strength. Imagine teams of laborers straining together to pull heavy stone blocks on rudimentary sleds or carts, perhaps over uneven terrain, their muscles bulging, their faces contorted with effort as they inched massive stones towards their destination. At the construction site, picture the meticulous, agonizing process of raising these massive stones. No cranes, no forklifts. Instead, simple ropes, pulleys, and wooden scaffolding, all operated by human muscle. Every stone, every beam, every bucket of mortar had to be lifted, pulled, or carried into place by hand. This involved constant bending, lifting, pulling, and pushing. Think about the collective grunts of effort, the coordination required for heavy lifts, the continuous engagement of every major muscle group. This was their daily gym, not for aesthetics, but for the very creation of their civilization, the sustained full-body labor from quarry to battlement, built incredible functional strength and endurance. Imagine the satisfaction of seeing a wall slowly rise, stone by stone, the pride in watching a tower take shape, knowing that every inch of its height was a testament to human perseverance and strength. These structures were not just defenses or symbols of power. They were monuments to the physical capabilities of medieval laborers. As the sun set on the construction site, picture the workers, their bodies aching, with their spirits high. They had pushed themselves to their limits and beyond each day, bringing them closer to completing a structure that would stand for centuries. The profound physical exhaustion would have led effortlessly to deep restorative sleep at the end of each day. But the work of building was not confined to stone alone. Wood, too, played a crucial role in medieval construction. Imagine the lumberjacks venturing into dense forests wielding heavy axes, their powerful swings biting into thick tree trunks. The thunderous crash as a mighty oak fell to the ground. The strength and skill required to fell, transport, and shape these massive timbers was no less impressive than the work with stone. Picture the carpenters, their hands calloused and strong, carefully shaping beams and planks. It's like watching artists at work, right? Imagine the precision they need to create those intricate wooden structures that support roofs and floors. Every sawing, planing, and hammering motion is a dance of skill and strength. These guys aren't just building structures, they're crafting masterpieces. Think about the upper body strength and endurance they develop. It's impressive. You see them lifting heavy timbers, maneuvering tools with ease, and piecing everything together like a giant puzzle. It's a tough job, but they take pride in every nail they drive in. You can really feel the passion and craftsmanship in what they do. And let us not forget the blacksmiths, their forges glowing hot in the night, their powerful arms, swinging hammers shaping the iron tools and fittings essential for construction. The intense heat, the rhythmic clanging of metal on metal, the sparks flying with each strike. This, too, was a feat of strength and endurance, a dance of fire and iron that produced the nails, hinges, and other metal components vital to medieval building. Imagine the masons, right? Picture their skilled hands carefully placing each stone almost like a dance. You could just feel the concentration they had to muster to make sure every piece fit just right. And think about the strength it took to maneuver those heavy blocks into place. It's not just about brawn, though. It's all about patience, too. They built those walls slowly but surely, creating structures that would stand the test of time. These craftsmen weren't just builders. They were artists, shaping stone into soaring arches and intricate decorations that still take our breath away today. Their work tells stories, whispers of the past, and connects us to history in a way that's truly special. Picture this. As the castle or cathedral started to take shape, can you just feel the buzz of community among the workers? They weren't just toiling away. They were sharing meals, swapping stories, and lifting each other up through the tough times. It was all about that camaraderie, you know? They bonded over their shared struggles and celebrated their triumphs together. This wasn't just about building something grand. It was a social adventure that united everyone in pursuit of a common dream. Imagine the laughter, the teamwork, and the pride they felt when they finally saw their hard work come to life. It's amazing how a collective effort can create such a strong sense of belonging, right? Picture this, scaffolding rising ever higher, the walls stretching toward the sky. It's dizzying, right? The heights are crazy, and every step feels like walking a tightrope. You really have to be aware of the danger around you. This kind of work, it's not for the faint-hearted at all. It takes not just raw strength, but also courage and a steady hand. Now imagine the view from the top of a half-built tower. The landscape below is sprawling out like a giant patchwork quilt, something most folks in medieval times could only dream about. Can you believe that? The wind whipping through your hair, the thrill of being so high up. It's a perspective that changes everything. You feel like you're on top of the world, right? It's wild to think about how those builders must have felt, conquering heights that seemed impossible. And as the structure neared completion, Imagine the final push, the race against time to finish before winter set in. The long days that stretched into nights lit by torchlight, the aching muscles, the blistered hands, the weary bodies pushed to their absolute limits, but also the growing excitement as the end came into sight, the pride in seeing a vision become reality. Think of the moment when the final stone was laid, the cheers that would have echoed across the construction site, the sense of accomplishment that filled every worker from the lowliest, laborer to the master builder. They had done what seemed impossible. They had moved mountains of stone and created a structure that would endure for generations. As we reflect on the immense physical demands of building walls and castles, let us not forget that this was but one aspect of medieval life, the strength and endurance. Built through this work would have served these people well in all aspects of their daily lives, from tending fields to defending their homes. The physical prowess developed through construction would have been a valuable asset. And so, my friend, as the echoes of their straining muscles and the clatter of stone fade, let us consider another ubiquitous yet surprisingly demanding daily chore. What about the simple act of acquiring water? This, too, was a quiet source of immense physical effort. Join me next as we explore fetching water, the daily carry, and discover how even the most basic necessities of life contributed to the incredible strength and endurance of medieval people. Long walks to wells, rivers, endurance. Now, my friend, let us turn our attention to a seemingly simple, yet universally demanding, everyday activity, fetching water. Imagine, if you will, a world where every drop of water for drinking, cooking, and washing had to be physically transported, often over significant distances. Picture a medieval village where the communal well or nearby spring serves as the lifeline for the entire community. The sun has barely risen, and already you can see figures moving along the well-worn paths, empty buckets swinging at their sides. This is not a task reserved for a select few, but a daily necessity for every household. As we follow one of these figures, let us consider the long walks to wells and rivers, a true test of endurance. The path stretches before you, winding through fields and along uneven village tracks. This is no leisurely stroll, my friend, but a purposeful trek that must be undertaken multiple times a day, regardless of the weather. Feel the earth beneath your feet, sometimes soft with mud, other times hard and frozen. The wind might whip around you or the sun beat down mercilessly, yet still you walk. With each step, your legs grow stronger, your calves more defined. This constant, unavoidable cardio workout is seamlessly integrated into the fabric of daily life. Now, imagine reaching the well after this long walk. You dip your wooden bucket into the cool, dark water, feeling its sudden weight as it fills. This is where the real workout begins, my friend. As you lift those heavy buckets, perhaps two of them, you feel the strain in your arms, your shoulders, your back. A single bucket of water weighs roughly 20 to 25 pounds. Now, picture carrying two such buckets, balanced precariously on a yoke across your shoulders. The weight presses down, engaging muscles in your upper body and core that we, in our modern world, might only activate through dedicated weightlifting. But this is no gym session, my friend. This is survival. As you begin the journey back home, you can feel every muscle working in concert. Your arms tremble slightly with the effort of keeping the bucket steady. Your back straightens, bearing the load. Your core tightens, maintaining your balance as you navigate the uneven terrain. The path home seems longer now, doesn't it? Each hill a mountain to be conquered, each dip in the road a potential hazard. Yet you press on, step after step, mile after mile. This journey isn't just about strength, it's about resilience, the ability to endure constant, heavy loads day after day, year after year. As you finally reach your destination and set down your precious cargo, take a moment to consider the profound physical impact of this daily task. Your body, constantly challenged by these necessary activities, is naturally primed for truly restorative rest. The quiet exhaustion that settles into your bones invites deep, effortless sleep. But the day is not over, my friend. As the water is used for cooking, cleaning, and quenching thirst, you know that soon enough you'll need to make the journey again, perhaps in the heat of the afternoon sun or in the gathering dusk of evening. This everyday activity of fetching water, so essential for survival, was a continuous, comprehensive workout. It built not just physical strength, but mental fortitude as well. The determination to complete this task, day in and day out, rain or shine, shaped the character of medieval people in ways we can scarcely imagine. Imagine the conversations that might have taken place on these water-fetching journeys, the sharing of village news, the passing on of wisdom from elders to youngsters, the forging of friendships, and the deepening of bonds. These walks, while physically demanding, also served as a social glue, binding the community together. Reflecting on medieval life really opens our eyes to how different their relationship with water was compared to ours. Back then, getting water wasn't just a quick trip to the tap. It involved serious effort. Picture this: people hauling buckets from wells or rivers, sometimes walking miles just to fill up their containers. Can you imagine the workout? Nowadays, with our indoor plumbing and instant access, we've kind of lost that connection. It's wild to think how much we take for granted, right? That simple act of getting water was a huge part of daily life, shaping everything from routines to social interactions. The medieval person's body was shaped by their daily tasks in ways that went way beyond just building muscle. Think about it. Their sense of time was tied to the seasons, and they had this deep connection to the land, you know? Every drop of water was precious to them. They'd work hard to collect it, always aware of its value. Imagine hauling buckets from a well or waiting for rain to nourish their crops. This constant physical engagement with the land and its resources not only kept them fit, but also made them appreciate the rhythms of nature. It was a life where every action mattered, and every moment was connected to the earth. And yet, my friend, fetching water was but one of the many physically demanding tasks that filled a medieval day. As the echoes of splashing water and tired footsteps fade from our minds, let us consider another vital process for daily sustenance that demanded constant physical exertion. Think about the transformation of grain into flour for a second. It's fascinating, right? This process was a quiet yet massive undertaking back in medieval times, weaving its way into the daily grind of life. Can you picture it? The steady grind of stone against stone, the soft whisper of grain falling through the mill, and the miller's grunt as he wrestles with that heavy wheel. It wasn't just hard work. It was a labor of love that fed entire communities. Imagine how vital that fresh flour was for baking bread, the staple of every meal. Without that effort, the warmth of freshly baked bread wouldn't have filled homes, right? It's amazing to think how something so simple involved so much dedication and skill. Let's dive into something really fascinating, my friend. Think about the miller's grind for a moment. It's this constant rhythmic motion that transforms raw grain into the bread we all rely on our daily sustenance. It's incredible how this simple process shaped the lives and bodies of medieval folks. Picture them working hard day in and day out, just like fetching water from the well. It was all part of their routine, connecting them to the land and their community. This grind wasn't just about food. It was a lifeline, a way of life that brought people together, fueling their bodies and their spirits. Can you imagine the hustle and bustle around a mill back then? It's mind-blowing to think about how something so basic was so vital. As we dive into this next chapter about medieval physical labor, just take a second to really feel it, okay? Imagine those heavy water buckets in your hands, the way your muscles are straining and the dust from the road clinging to your feet. It's not just about fetching water, it's a whole experience, right? Think about the sweat dripping down your brow, the sounds of nature around you, and the satisfaction of hard work. Let that memory sink deep into your bones, wrapping you in a cozy blanket of fatigue that lulls you into a deep, restful sleep. Embrace that feeling. It's a part of the journey. Get ready, because our next adventure is going to take some serious energy. We're diving into the world of the miller, who tirelessly turns those massive millstones that grind the grain, which was the heartbeat of medieval life. Can you imagine the strength it takes? It's a never-ending job, day in and day out, all to provide flour for bread, the staple of their diet. So take a moment to catch your breath, my friend. We're about to step into the constant rotation of the miller's life, where hard work and tradition meet in a rhythm that shaped communities. Are you excited? Let's roll. Grinding grain manually, rotational strength and stamina. Now, my friend, let us turn our attention to the miller's grind, a world of constant rotation and physical exertion. Imagine, if you will, the rhythmic sound of millstones turning, the air thick with flour dust, and the steady effort required to transform hard kernels of grain into the very sustenance of medieval life. Picture a humble quern, a simple hand mill found in many rural households. Here, the daily task of grinding grain was a manual endeavor, one that built incredible rotational strength and stamina in those who undertook it. Close your eyes and envision yourself kneeling or sitting before this ancient tool, your hands gripping the heavy top stone as you begin the endless circular motion. Feel the resistance as the grain is crushed between the stones, right? You can really feel it in your arms as you sweep them back and forth, engaging your shoulders and core to keep everything steady. It's like a full body workout. This isn't just a quick task, my friend. Grinding enough flour for a family's daily needs could take hours of relentless effort. Imagine standing there, feeling the rhythm with the sun streaming in and the smell of fresh grain filling the air. It's a workout, a meditation, and a connection to tradition all rolled into one. Can you picture it? It's hard work, but there's something so rewarding about it when you finally see that fine, soft flour ready for baking. What a sense of accomplishment! With each revolution, each consistent grind, you're witnessing a testament to the quiet, sustained physical power of our medieval ancestors. The rhythmic nature of this work would have lulled them into a meditative state, their minds perhaps wandering as their bodies performed this crucial task. Imagine the profound physical weariness that would settle over them after hours of this demanding work. Their arms and shoulders aching, their core muscles fatigued, yet satisfied with the knowledge that their efforts would feed their families. This everyday activity, so essential for their very sustenance, was a continuous, comprehensive workout that our modern bodies rarely experience. The life of a miller isn't just about grinding flour, you know? Think about it, hauling those heavy sacks of flour around is a workout in itself. Seriously, even the strongest folks would find that a real challenge. It's no joke. Picture a miller or a villager, their muscles already weary from grinding, now faced with the task of moving heavy sacks of grain and flour. These sacks, weighing perhaps 50 to 100 pounds or more, had to be lifted, carried, and stacked with careful precision. Picture this, the strain on their backs as they bend down to lift a hefty sack, right? You can almost feel the tension in their arms and shoulders as they hoist it onto their shoulders or into a cart. It's no walk in the park. The burn in their legs is real as they navigate that awkward, shifting load across uneven ground. Each step feels like a mini workout, pushing their bodies to the limit and really testing their strength. It's a struggle, but it's also a testament to their grit and determination, you know? Just think about how every ounce of effort counts when they're out there working hard and powering through. This constant bending, lifting, and carrying really built some serious strength in their backs, legs, and shoulders. It was like a full-body workout every single day, pushing them to their limits. Imagine doing that day in and day out. But for them, it was just another part of their daily grind, as routine as our morning coffee run. You know, it's wild to think how different our lives are, right? While we might be stuck in traffic, they're out there building muscle and endurance without even a second thought. Consider how this physical labor would have shaped their bodies over time. The miller, with his broad shoulders and strong back, would have been a testament to the power of consistent, functional exercise. His hands, calloused and strong from years of gripping heavy sacks and turning millstones, would have been capable of feats of strength that might astonish us today. And what of the miller's apprentice or the farmer's son tasked with bringing grain to the mill? Imagine a young man, perhaps no more than 16 or 17, already possessing the strength and endurance that comes from years of this demanding work. His body, honed by necessity rather than vanity, would have been a marvel of functional fitness. As night falls and the work finally comes to an end, just imagine that deep, satisfying physical exhaustion settling over these hard-working folks. Their bodies, pushed to the limit by all those necessary tasks, are totally ready for some serious restorative rest. You know that feeling, right? The gentle ache in their muscles, the heaviness in their limbs. It's like a warm invitation to drift off into a profound sleep. In our modern world, where we often sit around too much, we rarely get to experience that kind of deep, fulfilling rest. It's wild to think that these hard-working individuals might fall into a sleep so deep that it feels like a mini vacation for their bodies. It's a reminder of how vital it is to move and work with our hands to really earn that shut-eye. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could all tap into that feeling more often? In the quiet of the night, as the miller and his family settle into their well-earned rest, let us ponder the unique physical demands of this medieval profession. The constant rotation of the millstones, the heavy lifting of grain and flour sacks, all combine to create a workout regimen that modern fitness enthusiasts might envy. Yet for the miller and those who worked alongside him, this was simply life. There were no gym memberships, no personal trainers, no carefully crafted workout plans. Their fitness was a byproduct of survival, of the need to produce food for their community. In many ways, it was a more honest, more fundamental form of physical exertion than what we often experience today. As we lie here, letting sleep gently take over, it's pretty cool to think about those medieval workers, right? Their bodies, molded by tough labor and necessity, really show what human strength and adaptability are all about. Imagine them hauling heavy stones or toiling in the fields all day. Talk about endurance. In our comfy modern lives, we might not even realize how far we've drifted from that kind of hard, meaningful work. It makes you wonder if we've lost a bit of that connection to our own physicality, you know? We could definitely use a little more of that gritty spirit in our lives today. But now, as our minds drift towards sleep, let us carry with us a newfound respect for the miller's grind. Let the rhythmic turning of the millstones in our imagination lull us towards rest, much as the actual sound might have done for the miller and his family centuries ago. As we prepare to journey deeper into the realm of sleep, let us turn our thoughts to another place of intense physical labor in the medieval world, a place where heat and heavy tools combined to create a unique workout, where strength and skill merged in a dance of fire and metal. Yes, my friend, I speak of the blacksmith's forge. As the gentle grind of the millstones fades from our minds, let us prepare to explore this new realm of physical exertion. The blacksmith's forge, with its intense heat and demanding labor, offers us yet another window into the physical lives of our medieval ancestors. Imagine the glow of the forge, the ring of hammer on anvil, the hiss of hot metal meeting cool water. Feel the heat on your face, the weight of the hammer in your hand. This was another quiet source of immense effort, another everyday activity that shaped the bodies and lives of medieval workers. As we drift closer to sleep, let these images and sensations wash over you. Let the steady rhythm of the blacksmith's hammer blend with the turning of the millstones in your mind, creating a soothing backdrop for your journey into restful slumber. Tomorrow we will delve deeper into the world of the blacksmith, exploring how the intense heat and heavy tools of the forge created yet another unique medieval workout. But for now, let us rest, our minds filled with the sights, sounds, and sensations of the miller's world, our bodies grateful for the comfort of our beds, so different from the hard-earned rest of our medieval counterparts. Swinging the hammer, arm and shoulder power. Now, my friend, let us turn our attention to another intensely physical, everyday activity, one filled with the clang of metal and the roar of fire, the blacksmith's forge. Imagine a workspace where every movement was a testament to raw power and precision. Picture yourself standing in the heart of a medieval village, the air thick with the scent of smoke and heated metal. The blacksmith's forge stands before you, a place of transformation and creation. This was no mere workshop, but a crucible where the strength of human will met the unyielding nature of metal. The blacksmith, a figure of vital importance in any medieval community, was more than just a craftsman. He was an artist, a scientist, and an athlete all rolled into one. His daily labors were a symphony of strength and skill, a dance of fire and iron that shaped the very foundations of society. Swinging a hammer is basically the blacksmith's bread and butter, right? Picture this hefty tool. It's not just any hammer. It's like an extension of the blacksmith's arm, a real powerhouse. With every swing, he channels his strength and determination into the metal. It's almost like a dance where rhythm and precision come together. Just think about how he shapes hot iron, transforming it into something beautiful and functional. Each strike isn't just about brute force. It's about skill, experience, and passion. You can really feel the connection between the blacksmith and his craft, can't you? With each swing, the hammer would descend upon glowing hot metal, sending sparks flying and reverberating through the air. The impact would jar through the blacksmith's entire body, a testament to the raw power behind each strike. Yet this was no mindless pounding. Each blow required precise timing, a perfect balance of force and control. Think of the powerful arc of the swing, the way the blacksmith's muscles would tense and release in a carefully choreographed sequence. His shoulders would bunch and flex, his forearms rippling with exertion as he guided the hammer's path. The grip strength required to maintain control of such a weighty tool for hours on end was truly formidable. This was not a task for the faint of heart or weak of arm. Hour after hour, day after day, the blacksmith would repeat this motion. Each strike was an exercise in explosive strength, followed by a controlled recovery. The rhythm of the forge became a heartbeat, steady and relentless. But the hammer was not the only tool in the blacksmith's arsenal of physical exertion. Let us turn our attention to another often overlooked, yet highly demanding task, operating the bellows. Picture, if you will, large leather bellows, constantly pushed and pulled or pumped with a foot pedal to keep the charcoal fire roaring hot. This was no simple task, my friend. The bellows required a continuous exercise in leg and core engagement. Imagine the steady rhythm of push and pull, the constant flexing of muscles in legs, core, and lower back. This sustained, repetitive motion built incredible stamina and strength in the lower body. Think of the blacksmith standing or stooping over his work, one foot working the bellows pedal in a ceaseless dance. The fire must be kept hot, the metal malleable, and so the bellows must never cease their labor. This was a test of endurance as much as strength, a marathon of exertion that lasted from dawn to dusk. The heat of the forge added another layer of physical challenge to the blacksmith's daily routine. Imagine standing before a roaring fire for hours on end, the sweat pouring from your brow, your body working overtime to regulate its temperature. This was not just a test of strength, but of resilience and determination. In this intense heat and sweat, the blacksmith's body was shaped just like the metal he worked with. Swinging that hammer day in and day out made his shoulders and arms strong and broad, almost like a warrior ready for battle. His legs and core, total pillars of strength from working those bellows, pushing air into the fire. You know what's really cool? His grip became so strong it could twist and turn even the most stubborn metals. Imagine him, covered in soot, muscles flexing, really putting his heart into every piece he creates. Each strike of the hammer isn't just work. It's a dance, a rhythm that brings life to cold, hard metal. It's not just about strength, it's about passion and skill, turning raw materials into beautiful, functional art. How amazing is that? The blacksmith's daily grind wasn't just about pumping iron and building muscle, you know. It took a whole lot of precision and timing. Imagine each piece of metal like a unique character with its own quirks. Some might bend easily, while others are stubborn and tough. The blacksmith had to tune into these vibes, making little adjustments to his technique. Like, if he noticed a piece was too hot, he'd cool it down just right to avoid a disaster. It's this dance between skill and intuition that truly brings the art of blacksmithing to life. Imagine the sheer concentration it takes to keep that level of focus, hour after hour, day after day. The blacksmith's mind had to be as sharp as his tools, always calculating and adjusting, right? This wasn't just mindless labor. It was like a complex dance of body and mind, strength and skill. Think about it. Every strike of the hammer required precision. Every piece of metal demanded attention. One misstep could mean starting over. It's kind of like when you're trying to juggle multiple things at once, but instead of balls, it's fiery hot metal. The rhythm of the forge, the heat on his skin, and the satisfying clang of metal hitting metal. All of it came together to create something beautiful. The blacksmith wasn't just crafting tools. He was shaping art with every swing. Isn't that just amazing? Think about all the amazing stuff that came from the blacksmith's forge. This skilled artisan wasn't just hammering away. They were crafting essential tools that kept everything running smoothly in society. Picture this. From the tiniest nail that held your house together to the powerful sword that defended your village, every piece had its purpose. Cooking pots made meal prep a breeze, while horseshoes ensured that the horses could carry you on those long journeys. It's wild to think how the blacksmith's work really touched every part of medieval life, right? Without them, life would have been a whole lot tougher. Imagine the pure joy of taking a twisted piece of metal and turning it into something incredible, a handy tool, a fierce weapon, or even a stunning piece of art. It's like magic, right? That satisfaction comes from all the sweat and hard work you put in. Think about it. Hours of hammering, shaping, and molding, and then bam, you've created something useful or beautiful. It's that feeling of accomplishment that makes every sore muscle worth it. How amazing is it to see your vision come to life right in front of you? As the day wound down, picture the blacksmith wrapping up his work. You can almost feel the deep, bone-tired exhaustion settling in. His muscles are screaming, hands calloused and worn from hours of hammering away at the forge. But here's the thing, there's this incredible satisfaction bubbling up inside him, you know? It's like he's just crafted something meaningful, something that will last. This kind of tiredness isn't a burden. It's more like a cozy invitation to drift into a deep, effortless sleep, where dreams of his craft dance in his mind. It's that sweet reward for a hard day's labor, where every ache tells a story of dedication and skill. The blacksmith's body, constantly pushed to its limits by the demanding tasks of the day, was totally ready for some serious rest. Each night as he lay down, the sounds of clanging metal and the heat of the forge still danced in his mind. When he finally slipped into sleep, it was as deep and solid as the iron he shaped. You could almost picture him, dreaming of the fiery glow of the forge and the rhythmic pounding of his hammer, his muscles finally unwinding from the day's hard work. It's like his body knew it had earned that peaceful escape, right? The blacksmith's forge was way more than just a workplace. It was like a gym for those tough craftsmen. Picture this. Every day they swung those heavy hammers with all their might, shaping metal while building muscle. It wasn't just about strength, though. It was about endurance, too. The constant pumping of the bellows got their hearts racing, making every session a full-body workout. And let's not forget, the skill involved precision and technique were key, turning raw materials into masterpieces. Can you imagine the satisfaction of seeing your hard work transform right before your eyes? It's like a workout and art class all rolled into one. As the clang of the hammer and the roar of the fire gently fade from our minds, let's dive into another demanding yet often overlooked chore, keeping clothes clean in medieval times. Can you imagine the effort that went into it? Instead of tossing clothes in a washing machine, folks had to scrub them by hand in rivers or large tubs. They used lye soap, which was pretty harsh, and sometimes even added herbs for a nice scent. It was a sweaty, labor-intensive task that shaped not just their clothes, but their entire lives. Picture the community gathering by the river, sharing stories while they washed. Definitely a tough job, but also a way to bond and socialize. How wild is that? Beating clothes in water, arm and shoulder stamina. Now, my friend, let us turn our attention to a more domestic yet equally demanding everyday activity, washing clothes. Imagine the sheer physical effort required to keep garments clean without modern washing machines for medieval people. Washing clothes was not a simple task. It often involved going to a river or a communal wash house, and it was a strenuous full-body workout. Picture, if you will, the primary method of beating clothes in water, large, heavy garments. Wool tunics, linen shifts thoroughly soaked in cold water, often mixed with lye soap. These wet clothes became incredibly heavy and stiff. Then imagine the rhythmic, forceful action of beating these soaking wet garments against a rock, a wooden board, or a specially designed washing block. This was a relentless exercise in arm and shoulder stamina. The constant raising and bringing down of the heavy, wet fabric, the powerful impact, the twisting and wringing motion, it was a continuous, repetitive strain on their upper bodies. Their forearms, biceps, triceps, and shoulders would have been constantly engaged, building incredible strength and endurance through sheer repetitive effort. This was not a task for the faint of heart, but a true test of physical endurance. Carrying wet laundry is no joke. After washing, the physical demands really kick in. Picture this. You've got a massive basket or bundle of freshly washed clothes, and they're soaking wet. That weight? It's seriously heavy, way more than what dry clothes weigh. Can you imagine lifting that dripping load? You might have to balance it on your head or lug it in your arms, feeling every muscle in your core and legs working hard as you walk back home. It's like an intense workout, right? Just think about how much strength and endurance it takes to handle that every day. Imagine the constant strain on their backs, their cores working hard to stabilize the load, and their legs propelling them forward. This was a never-ending workout for their entire lower body and core, building serious strength that we usually think only comes from hitting the gym. But for our medieval ancestors, this wasn't some choreographed exercise routine, it was just life. Picture them hauling heavy loads, swinging tools, or even just walking long distances. Every day was a full-body workout. They didn't need fancy equipment or a gym membership. Their daily activities kept them fit and strong. Isn't it wild to think about how different their approach to fitness was compared to ours today? So what do you think? Could we learn something from their way of life? Washing clothes might seem like just another chore, but it's actually a workout in disguise. Seriously, think about it. Scrubbing, wringing, and hanging those clothes up takes a lot of arm strength and shoulder stamina. You're not just cleaning, you're getting a full-body workout. After all that effort, it's no wonder you feel totally wiped out and ready for a solid night's sleep. Your body, pushed to its limits by these everyday tasks, craves that deep, restorative rest. It's like a cycle of hard work leading to well-deserved relaxation, right? So next time you toss in a load, remember, you're not just doing laundry. You're giving your body a little workout too. Picture this, a medieval washhouse buzzing with life. The air is thick with the sounds of splashing water and rhythmic beating like a wild dance. You can almost smell that lye soap mixed with damp fabric. It's a scent that sticks with you. Women and sometimes men are gathered, faces flushed and muscles straining as they scrub away. But this isn't just another chore. It's a lively social event. Can you imagine the gossip flying around? Did you hear about Margaret's new baby? Or what about the harvest this year? It's a time for sharing news, laughter, and support. They lean on each other, swapping stories and advice, building a tight-knit community. It's more than just washing clothes. It's about connection and camaraderie, a moment where friendships blossom amidst the suds and sweat. How amazing is that? As the day wore on and the piles of clean laundry grew, so too did the ache in their muscles, the weariness in their bones, yet there was a satisfaction in the work, a pride in seeing the once soiled garments emerge clean and fresh, ready to be worn again. It was a tangible result of their labor, a visible sign of their care for their families and their homes. And let us not forget the seasonal nature of this task. In the depths of winter, imagine the bite of icy water on bare hands, the struggle to maintain grip on slippery wet fabric. In the height of summer picture, the relief of cool water against sun-warmed skin, the challenge of working in the heat. Each season brought its own unique difficulties, its own physical demands. For the wealthy, sure, this task might get handed off to servants. But for most folks, it was a personal responsibility, like a weekly or even daily ritual that shaped not just their lives, but their bodies too. Think about it. Every chore was a connection to the rhythms of nature, the flow of rivers, and the changing seasons. It was all about feeling the sun on your back while washing clothes by the stream or gathering fresh produce from the garden. These routines weren't just chores. They were moments of mindfulness that kept people in tune with the world around them, right? They crafted a sense of community and tradition, making every task a meaningful part of daily life. When we think about how our ancestors tackled what seems like a simple task today, it's wild to realize just how much physical strength and endurance they had to muster every single day. I mean, can you imagine? While we can now press a button or twist a dial to get things done, they were out there lifting heavy loads, chopping wood, and hauling water talk about a workout. Their fitness didn't come from fancy gyms or treadmills. It was all about the daily grind. Picture someone carrying buckets of water from a well or plowing fields by hand. Those were the real-life exercises that built their strength. It's pretty eye-opening to think about how much effort went into what we often take for granted today. Their bodies were shaped by necessity, honed by repetition, strengthened by constant use, in a world where physical labor was not just common but essential. They developed a kind of functional fitness that many of us now struggle to achieve. Washing clothes was just one of many such tasks, each contributing to a lifestyle that kept them strong, resilient, and deeply connected to the physical world around them. As the echoes of splashing water and rhythmic beating fade, let's shift gears and dive into another super important, yet intensely physical task that shaped the medieval world. Think about gathering the very fuel for their fires and homes. This was no small feat. Join me as we explore the lumberjack's swing and what I like to call forest fitness. Picture this. You're stepping into the lush, dense forests that blanketed much of medieval Europe. The air is rich with the fresh scent of pine and damp earth, and you can hear the cheerful birds singing above. Now imagine a lumberjack, axe in hand, muscles tensed and ready to tackle the day's work. It's not just about chopping down trees. It's all about providing essential materials for warmth, shelter, and so many daily needs. This task was a true test of strength and endurance, requiring focus and skill with every swing of that axe. The swing of the axe was no ordinary movement. It was a full-body workout that engaged the core, legs, back, and arms in this powerful, coordinated effort. Each strike sent vibrations through the body, a reminder of the sheer force behind it. You could feel the muscles working hard, testing their strength and the durability of the joints with every swing. It was almost like a dance, a rhythmic motion repeated countless times throughout the day, building not just strength, but also precision and endurance. Can you imagine the focus it took to maintain that rhythm? And once the tree was down, the work was far from finished. Picture the effort needed to strip away those branches, cutting the trunk into manageable sections and then splitting logs for firewood. Each task required its own set of skills and physical exertion. It's like the forest became a gymnasium, right? Every movement, every task contributed to the overall fitness of those who worked there. They weren't just chopping wood. They were building muscle, stamina, and a connection to the land. As we dive deeper into the physical demands of medieval life, it's fascinating to see how connected our ancestors were to their environment. Their daily tasks didn't just shape their world. They sculpted their bodies too. It makes you think about our own relationship with physical labor today. Are we as in tune with the natural world? Those simple yet profound acts of using our bodies in meaningful ways can teach us so much about strength and resilience. Felling trees with axes, full body power. Now, my friend, let us venture into the dense forests of medieval Europe, where the mighty lumberjacks wielded their axes with unparalleled strength and skill. This is a world of raw power, of sweat-drenched labor, and of the primal connection between man and nature. Picture this, a burly figure standing tall before a massive oak tree, its trunk wide enough to make you gasp. His calloused hands grip a heavy axe, worn from years of hard work. This isn't just any woodcutter. He's a seasoned lumberjack, skilled and proud. Each swing of his axe is a dance, a rhythm that echoes through the forest. It's a life tied to the land, where every tree felled means a paycheck, but also a deep respect for nature. You can almost feel the sweat on his brow as he focuses, knowing that his livelihood depends on his strength and skill. Isn't it incredible how much heart goes into this work? Picture the scene as our lumberjack takes his stance, feet planted firmly on the forest floor. He draws back his axe, muscles tensing in anticipation. With a powerful swing, the blade bites into the tree's bark, sending splinters flying. This is the beginning of a dance as old as civilization itself, a test of strength and endurance that would leave modern gym-goers in awe. The rhythmic thud of axe against wood echoes through the forest, creating a symphony of strength and determination. Each strike is a true feat of full-body power, engaging every muscle from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head. You can see the shoulders and back straining with each swing, while the core tightens to maintain balance and the legs drive the force of the blow. This isn't just mindless hacking, it's a carefully choreographed series of movements, perfected through years of hard work and dedication. As our lumberjack toils away, sweat beading on his brow, it's hard not to appreciate the sheer physical demands of this task. Picture him repeating this motion hour after hour, day after day. It's not just about building brute strength. It's about developing a deep functional power that serves him in all aspects of life. His body becomes a finely tuned instrument, capable of incredible feats of endurance and explosive force. But the felling of the tree is only the beginning of the adventure. Once that mighty oak crashes to the forest floor, the real work kicks in. Imagine a team of men, their faces set with determination, gathering around this fallen giant. With ropes and levers in hand, they're not just moving wood. They're working together to navigate the dense undergrowth, tackling a task that requires both brawn and brains. It's a powerful reminder of the strength found in teamwork, where every effort counts in overcoming nature's challenges. The air is thick with anticipation as they take their positions. On a signal, they begin to heave. Muscles strain against the unyielding weight of the log. Feet dig into the soft earth, seeking purchase. This is a true test of collective strength, a reminder that in medieval times, survival often depended on the ability to work together. As they inch the log forward, think of the incredible demands placed on their bodies. The constant pushing and pulling works muscles in ways no modern gym could replicate. Their legs burn with the effort of driving forward. Their backs and shoulders ache from the relentless strain. Yet they persist, for this is not just exercise, but a matter of survival. The journey through the forest is slow and grueling. Every root and rock becomes an obstacle to be overcome. The men must constantly adjust their grip, shift their weight, and coordinate their efforts. This is not just a test of strength, but of balance, agility, and teamwork. As they near the edge of the forest, perhaps bound for a river where the log will be floated downstream, the exhaustion is palpable. Yet there is also a sense of deep satisfaction, of a job well done. These men have not just moved a log. They have participated in an ancient ritual of human endurance. Reflect for a moment on the intense physical toll of this work. Every muscle aches, every joint protests. The hands, they're raw from gripping rough bark and coarse ropes, like they've been through a battle. And those feet, they throb from hours of standing and straining, each step feeling like a reminder of the day's labor. This isn't just tiredness. It's a weariness that sinks deep into the bones, a testament to the hard work put in. But here's the thing, that weariness also brings its own rewards. As night falls and our lumberjacks head back to their homes, they carry with them the promise of deep, restful sleep. Can you imagine? Their bodies, pushed to the absolute limits of endurance, crave that restorative power of true rest. In a way, they're luckier than many of us today who toss and turn at night, our bodies unstressed and our minds racing with thoughts. The life of a medieval lumberjack was a constant challenge. Each day was a new adventure, with fresh trees to fell and logs to haul. It demanded not just strength, but skill and endurance, a mix that kept their bodies in sync with nature's rhythms. And let's not forget the character that built these guys were tough, mentally and physically. As we leave the forest behind, with the echoes of axe blows fading into the background, Let's think about another part of medieval life that also required immense physical effort. Not every journey was made by horse or cart. Many folks back then traveled long distances on foot, taking on what we might call marathons just as part of their everyday life. Imagine that. Each step was a testament to their resilience, a part of their daily routine that shaped their bodies and spirits alike. Imagine setting out on a journey of many miles with nothing but the clothes on your back and perhaps a small bundle of provisions. The road stretches before you, a ribbon of dust and stone winding through fields and forests. This is how many medieval people traveled, whether on pilgrimage for trade or simply to visit distant family. Imagine the steady rhythm of feet hitting the pavement, hour after hour, day after day. It's like a dance, really, building insane endurance in your legs and core. Navigating uneven terrain, that's where you find your balance and proprioception. Even carrying a small pack, you'll feel it in your shoulders and back, trust me. Think about those long hikes where every step is a little adventure, right? Each climb challenges you, making your muscles stronger and your mind sharper. And let's not forget about the fresh air and beautiful views that come with it. It's all about pushing your limits while soaking in nature's beauty. Isn't that just the best? These journeys were not undertaken lightly. Medieval roads were often little more than rutted tracks, fraught with dangers both natural and human. Travelers had to be alert, ready to respond to any threat. This constant state of readiness kept the body tense, the senses sharp. As our imaginary traveler crests a hill, pausing to catch their breath, consider the mental fortitude required for such a journey. There were no mile markers, no GPS to track progress. One simply walked, trusting in one's own strength and determination to reach the destination. The physical demands of such travel were immense. Blisters formed and calloused over. Muscles ached with a deep, persistent throb. The sun beat down mercilessly, or rain soaked through inadequate clothing. Yet still, our traveler presses on, driven by necessity or desire. As night falls, can you just picture the sweet relief of finally being able to rest? After a long day, your body feels like it's been through the ringer, right? All it really craves is a cozy bed and some well-deserved sleep. There's something so calming about that exhaustion, almost like a warm hug for your soul. Your mind, which has been racing and focused on just putting one foot in front of the other, finally gets a chance to take a breather. It's like a gentle wave washing over you, and before you know it, sleep comes rushing in, wrapping you in its comforting embrace. You drift off so quickly and deeply, almost as if you're floating away into a dreamland where worries can't reach you. Isn't that just the best feeling? This was the reality of travel for many in medieval times. What we might consider an extraordinary feat of endurance was simply a part of everyday life. It built not just physical strength, but mental resilience, the ability to persevere in the face of discomfort and uncertainty. As we conclude our journey through the physical demands of medieval life, from the lumberjack's swing to the traveler's steady pace, we are left with a profound appreciation for the strength and endurance of our ancestors. Their bodies, shaped by necessity and constant labor, were capable of feats that might astonish us today. In our modern world, where everything is designed for convenience and comfort, it feels like we've kind of lost that deep physical connection with our surroundings, right? But here's the thing. Those ancient ways of working and moving still echo within us. Think about it, our bodies still crave movement and respond to the challenges of physical labor. Whether it's digging in the garden, going for a hike, or even just playing with the kids, these activities remind us of our roots. They're not just workouts. They're a way to reconnect with the earth and our own bodies. So let's not forget to embrace that physicality and find joy in moving. As you snuggle into bed tonight, take a moment to picture that medieval lumberjack. Imagine his muscles aching after a long day of chopping trees, the scent of pine lingering in the air. Then think about the weary traveler whose feet are sore from trudging along dusty roads, searching for a place to rest. When you connect with their struggles, you might just find yourself drifting into a deeper, more peaceful sleep. It's all about feeling that shared human experience, right? So let their stories wrap around you like a cozy blanket as you close your eyes. Sweet dreams. Long-distance walking as transportation. Endurance. Now, my friend, let us journey back in time to the world of medieval Europe, where every step was a testament to human endurance. This is a world where the simple act of walking was not just a means of transportation, but a daily exercise in pure physical prowess. Imagine a landscape dotted with small villages and towns, connected by winding paths and rough roads. Here, in this world without cars, trains, or buses, the vast majority of people relied solely on their own 2 feet to traverse the distances that separated them from their destinations. Imagine a peasant waking up before the sun even thinks about rising, ready to embark on a journey to the nearby village for market day. The sky is still dark and the air is crisp as they set out, their back already hunched under the weight of goods fresh produce, handmade crafts, and maybe a few chickens clucking away in a basket. This isn't just a casual stroll, my friend. It's a serious, fast-paced trek that'll take hours, maybe even days, filled with the promise of trade and connection. You can almost feel the excitement mixed with anxiety as they navigate the winding paths, hoping for a good deal and a friendly chat with familiar faces. Each step is fueled by dreams of better days, right? It's a journey of resilience and hope where every mile counts. As they walk, their legs and core are in constant motion, muscles working tirelessly to propel them forward. With each step, their calves flex and release, their thighs burn with exertion. This is not a workout confined to a gym or a specific time of day. No, this is a seamless integration of intense physical activity into the very fabric of daily life. Imagine the kind of terrain they had to deal with back in the medieval days. We're not talking about the smooth, nice roads we zip around on today. Nope. Picture muddy paths rutted and worn down by the wheels of heavy carts and the pounding hooves of horses. It's like a giant obstacle course. And those rocky trails, they wind through dense forests and fields where branches and bushes are practically reaching out to trip you up. You really had to be tough and determined just to make it from one place to another. Can you imagine how exhausting that must have been? Every step was a challenge, and it's no wonder people often traveled in groups for safety and support. What a journey that must have been. Our traveler has to stay super alert, constantly scanning the ground ahead for any sneaky obstacles that might trip them up. Just picture it. Their ankles are working overtime, adjusting to all those bumps and dips in the path with every step they take. You can almost feel the muscles in their legs straining to keep everything balanced, compensating for those unexpected rises or sudden drops in the terrain. But hold on, the challenges don't stop there. Think about the weather, my friend. Imagine our traveler pushing through the relentless heat of a blazing summer sun, sweat streaming down their face and back, making every step feel like a mini workout. Or how about when they're battling against a biting winter wind? You can see them hunched forward, fighting to make any progress against that chilly gale, right? Now, picture springtime where they're slogging through thick mud, each step a fierce battle as the earth seems determined to steal their shoes. And in autumn, they're dealing with a constant drizzle, soaking through their clothes and adding extra weight to their already heavy load. Let's not forget about their attire. Those heavy, restrictive medieval clothes, they add another layer of challenge to their journey. Thick woolen garments, essential for warmth, become stifling burdens under the hot summer sun. In winter, all those layers can feel like a workout in themselves, making every single step a real effort. It's no wonder they had to be tough just to get anywhere. Yet still, they press on, hour after hour, mile after mile. This is not a choice, but a necessity. To reach the market, to visit family, to make a pilgrimage to a holy site, all of these require this test of endurance. This is their cardio, their strength training, their full body workout, all rolled into one continuous, unavoidable activity. Think of the quiet determination required to simply reach their destination. Day after day, through all conditions, they must summon the will to put one foot in front of the other. This is not the flashy strength of a knight in armor or the specialized skill of a craftsman. This is a deep, abiding power that resides in every person, from the lowliest serf to the wealthiest merchant. As night falls and our traveler finally reaches their destination, just picture the profound physical exhaustion settling into their bones. This isn't your typical tiredness that comes from a quick workout at the gym. No way. This is a deep, satisfying weariness that tells the story of hours spent trudging along rugged paths, battling the elements and pushing through every ounce of fatigue. With this exhaustion comes the promise of a truly restorative rest. Their body, pushed to its limits by the demands of the journey, craves that deep, healing sleep we often find elusive in our busy modern lives. As they sink into their simple bed for the night, every muscle relaxes, every joint sighs in relief, and you can almost hear their body whispering a grateful thank you for the chance to recharge. This, my friend, is the unseen marathon of medieval life. It's a constant, unrelenting test of endurance that shaped not just their bodies, but their very spirits. Think about it. Every step taken was a testament to their resilience, their grit, and their determination to survive and thrive in a world that demanded so much. And let's not forget the mental aspect of this journey. It's not just about the physical toll. It's also about the thoughts racing through their minds as they walk. The anticipation of a warm meal, the joy of reconnecting with loved ones, or even the simple satisfaction of accomplishing a tough trek. All of this adds layers to their experience, making it not just a journey, but a story of hope and perseverance. As we leave our weary traveler to their well-earned rest, let's consider another aspect of medieval life that required its own form of endurance. While the journey by foot tested the strength of legs and back, there were other tasks that demanded a different kind of stamina. Imagine now a small, dimly lit room in a humble cottage. Here we find a woman seated at a spinning wheel, her fingers moving with practiced precision as she transforms raw wool into thread. This is not a brief task, but one that requires hours of concentrated effort, day after day. Her hands and arms are in constant motion, guiding the wool, turning the wheel, maintaining the perfect tension needed to create usable thread. The muscles in her fingers, wrists, and forearms burn with the effort, yet she persists. This is not just a craft, but a necessity. Without her efforts, there would be no cloth for clothing, no fabric for bedding. And once the spinning is complete, the work is far from over. Now comes the weaving, which is another task that really demands incredible stamina. Picture the weaver, seated at a loom for hours on end, arms and back straining as they pass the shuttle back and forth. They're creating everything from intricate patterns to simple, sturdy cloth. It's like a dance, right? Each movement requires focus and rhythm, and you can almost feel the fabric coming to life under their skilled hands. This too is a marathon of sorts, a true test of endurance that shapes the body in its own unique way. The weaver's arms become strong and nimble, their eyes sharp and focused, and their patience is enduring as the cloth they create. Just think about how many yards of fabric they produce in a single day. It's mind-boggling, isn't it? From the long-distance walker to the spinner and weaver, these were the unseen athletes of the medieval world, their feats of endurance woven into the very fabric of daily life, shaped a population capable of incredible physical resilience. As we drift off to sleep, let's marvel at their quiet strength, unwavering determination, and the profound physical wisdom embedded in their everyday existence. What a legacy they left behind. Manual spinning wheels, repetitive hand-arm work. Now, my friend, let us turn our attention to a more delicate yet incredibly demanding everyday activity, spinning and weaving. Imagine the constant repetitive effort required to turn raw fibers into the threads and cloth that clothed medieval society. Can you imagine a time when every single thread was spun by hand? Before the age of industrial machinery, people relied on spinning wheels and drop spindles to create yarn. Picture a woman, maybe in her cozy little home, sitting for hours at her spinning wheel. She'd be working that foot pedal or even using her hands to twist and draw out fibers, all while keeping her focus sharp. It was no walk in the park. This was a tough gig, requiring not just skill, but also a ton of stamina and dexterity. Every twist and turn was a labor of love, and you could really feel the dedication in each strand. Can you just feel the rhythm of that wheel? It's pretty incredible how much effort went into something we often take for granted today. Imagine the continuous rhythm of their hands and fingers guiding those soft fibers, twisting the yarn and working the wheel like a well-oiled machine. Each day they'd repeat those fine motor skills thousands of times, building incredible endurance in their forearms, wrists, and hands. It's kind of wild, right? This focused effort could lead to deep muscle fatigue, but it also created this almost meditative vibe. The gentle hum of the spinning wheel became a soothing soundtrack to their hard work, wrapping around them like a comforting blanket. You can almost picture them lost in thought, creating something beautiful from raw materials, all while the world around them faded away. It's a dance of creativity and labor that's truly captivating. Can you hear it now? The soft whirring of the wheel, right? It's that subtle creaking of wood as it turns and the gentle whisper of fibers being drawn out and twisted. This was the soundtrack of countless lives throughout history, sound that echoed through cozy cottages and grand manor houses alike. You could almost feel the rhythm in your bones, you know? And once the yarn was spun, it had to be woven into cloth. Picture a weaver, either sitting or standing at a large wooden loom, really getting into it. They'd be passing shuttles back and forth through those warped threads, then beating the weft tightly with a heavy beater or batten. It's not just a task. It's a full-on workout. I mean, just think about how much strength and coordination it takes to create something beautiful from simple threads. It's a true testament to their skill and dedication. Think about the powerful, repetitive motion of pushing that beater, the constant engagement of their arms, shoulders, and back, the steady coordination of hands and feet, especially if they're using treadles to manipulate the loom's mechanisms. This wasn't just a casual task. It was a long, sustained workout that often lasted from dawn to dusk. It demanded focus, stamina, and a whole lot of heart. Each piece of cloth was not just fabric. It was a testament to their hard work and dedication. Close your eyes for a moment and picture this scene. A weaver bent over their loom, the rhythmic clack of the shuttle as it passes through the warp, the thud of the beater as it presses each new row of weft into place, the air thick with the dust of fibers and the scent of lanolin from the wool. This was a world of constant motion of bodies in harmony with their tools, creating the very fabric of medieval life. This everyday activity of spinning and weaving, so essential for clothing and textiles, was a continuous, comprehensive workout. It demanded immense hand and arm stamina, as well as full body rhythm and endurance, naturally leading to a profound physical exhaustion that invited deep, effortless sleep. Their bodies, constantly challenged by these necessary tasks, were primed for truly restorative rest, a testament to their quiet, persistent craft. But let us delve deeper into the world of these skilled artisans. Imagine the calluses that would form on their hands, the strength that would build in their fingers and forearms, the way their bodies would adapt to this daily labor, becoming finely tuned instruments for their craft. And it was not just about physical endurance. These crafts required immense skill and knowledge passed down through generations. The ability to judge the quality of raw materials, to spin a consistent thread, to weave intricate patterns. These were not mere manual laborers, but highly skilled artisans. Their work was essential not just for clothing, but for sails, tapestries, bedding, and countless other necessities of medieval life. Think of the social aspect of this work, too. In many communities, spinning and weaving were communal activities. Women would gather together to spin, sharing gossip stories and songs as they worked. The rhythmic nature of the task allowed for conversation and companionship, making the long hours of labor more bearable. This was a time of shared knowledge of skills passed from mother to daughter of communities, bound together by the very threads they created. Imagine the pride a weaver must feel as they run their hands over a finished bolt of cloth. It's not just about the fabric. It's the joy of seeing their hard work transformed into something beautiful, a stunning garment, a vibrant tapestry, or even a sturdy sail. These aren't just everyday items. They're true works of art, bursting with creativity and skill. Each piece tells a story, reflecting the rich traditions and techniques passed down through generations. It's like a tangible connection to the past, you know? And when you think about it, every stitch carries a piece of the weaver's heart, showcasing their dedication and artistry. Pretty amazing, right? The world of spinning and weaving was totally in tune with the natural rhythms of life. Think about it, the shearing of sheep, the harvesting of flax, and gathering vibrant dyestuffs from plants. These activities weren't just chores. They connected the spinners and weavers to the cycles of nature and the changing seasons. Each thread, each piece of cloth, carried the stories of the landscape, the community, and the countless hours of skilled labor that went into creating something beautiful. As night falls in our medieval world, can you picture the spinners and weavers finally setting aside their work? Their hands are aching and their bodies are weary, but there's this deep satisfaction that comes from a day's labor well done. They'd shuffle off to their beds, muscles relaxed and minds quieted by the rhythmic, repetitive nature of their tasks. It's like they're ready for that deep, restorative sleep that only comes after pouring your heart and soul into something truly meaningful. What a beautiful way to end the day, right? And as they slept, perhaps they dreamed of the cloth they had created, of intricate patterns and rich colors, of the garments and tapestries their work would become, of the stories and lives woven into every thread. This was not just labor, but a form of creation, a way of leaving their mark on the world through the essential everyday act of making cloth. But as the gentle hum of the loom fades and we leave behind the world of spinners and weavers, let us turn our thoughts to a very different aspect of medieval life, one that required a different kind of strength and endurance. Join me, my friend, as we explore the physical demands of warfare and combat training. This was another quiet source of immense effort, a brutal sport that shaped the bodies and lives of many in the medieval world. Imagine now a young squire training in the courtyard of a castle, the clang of metal on metal, the thud of wooden practice swords, the grunts of exertion. This, too, was a world of repetitive motion of bodies pushed to their limits. But unlike the quiet labor of spinning and weaving, this was a preparation for violence, for the harsh realities of medieval warfare. Think of the weight of chainmail, the heft of a sword, the strain of drawing a longbow. These were not occasional activities, but daily realities for many, requiring immense physical strength and endurance. The knights and men at arms of the medieval world were not just warriors, but athletes, constantly honing their bodies for the demands of combat. Picture this: hours spent swinging those heavy swords again and again until every movement feels like second nature. Can you feel the strain on your arms and shoulders? It's like building a solid core strength that's essential for any warrior. This isn't just about mastering a skill. It's about transforming your body into a weapon, a tool of war. The sweat and effort poured into each swing create a powerful connection between the fighter and their craft. And what about the archers? Those folks drawing yew bows repeatedly, building incredible strength in their backs and arms. Just think of the focus they needed, standing steady, aiming true, even after hours of that repetitive motion. It's a real test of endurance and concentration. They weren't just pulling strings. They were crafting their bodies to be finely tuned instruments of precision. When we dive into these different forms of physical exertion, from the quiet, repetitive motions of spinning and weaving to the more intense demands of combat training, we start to see how intertwined these worlds are. Each activity required its own unique strength and shaped the lives of those who lived it. It's fascinating, right? These weren't just separate realms. They were connected threads in the rich tapestry of medieval life, each one adding depth to the human experience. And so, my friend, as we drift towards sleep, let the rhythmic motions of the spinner, the steady beat of the weaver's loom, The controlled movements of the training yard all blend together in your mind, a symphony of human effort, a testament to the endurance and skill of our ancestors. Let these images guide you towards a deep, restful sleep where perhaps you too will dream of threads of cloth, of swords and bows of lives lived in harmony with the demands of their world. Heavy armor and weaponry, constant strength training. Now, my friend, let us journey forward in time to the world of medieval warfare and training. This is a realm of brutal physical demands, of constant preparation for battle, and of men forged in the crucible of combat. Imagine a knight clad in heavy armor, his muscles straining against the weight of steel and leather. This is a world of strength and endurance, where every movement is a test of will and physical prowess. Imagine the training grounds buzzing with the sound of steel clashing and the heavy breaths of warriors pushing their limits. Here, these guys aren't just working out. They're turning their bodies into real weapons, gearing up for the tough world of medieval battles. For these warriors, the threat of conflict was ever present, shaping their daily lives and routines. Their bodies were their most valuable assets, constantly pushed to the limits of human endurance. Imagine the weight of a full suit of plate armor, a staggering burden of 50 to 60 pounds, sometimes even exceeding 100 pounds for specialized jousting armor. This was no mere costume, but a second skin of metal that demanded incredible strength just to move. Imagine strapping on all that heavy gear just to take a walk. Each step, it's not just a stroll, it's like a mini workout, right? Your muscles are working hard, coordinating perfectly to push that armored body forward. Now, picture yourself trying to run. The added weight transforms a simple sprint into a serious challenge. It's not just about speed anymore. It's a real test of your endurance and strength. You're pushing against the odds, feeling every ounce of that gear as you move. It's a wild mix of determination and sheer willpower. Movement on foot was just one slice of the challenge. Imagine a knight gearing up to mount his horse. You've got this hefty armor weighing him down, and let's not forget the combined weight of the knight himself. It's no walk in the park for the horse, right? Swinging into that saddle isn't just about brute strength. It's all about balance and coordination. Picture years of practice where every muscle in his body has to work in harmony. It's like a dance, really. The knight has to time his movements perfectly to avoid throwing off the horse. And when he finally settles in, it's a whole new world up there. You can feel the power and connection between man and beast, ready to charge into battle together. How cool is that? And then there were the weapons. Long swords, maces, axes, and lances, each a deadly instrument of war, and each demanding its own unique set of physical skills to wield effectively. Imagine the raw power needed to swing a heavy mace, the precision required to thrust with a long sword, and the balance necessary to wield a polearm. These were not tools to be used lightly. Hours of daily practice were needed to master each weapon, building incredible functional strength in arms, shoulders, and core. The training ground was their gym, every swing and thrust a repetition in an endless workout routine. But physical strength alone was not enough. Combat drills pushed these warriors to their limits, simulating the chaotic and exhausting nature of real battle. Picture two knights locked in a sparring match, their blunted weapons still heavy and dangerous. They move with explosive energy, muscles tensed and ready to react at a moment's notice. Thrusts are met with parries, feints with counters, each movement a potential matter of life and death. These were not choreographed dances, but intense, realistic simulations of the brutality of medieval combat. Imagine the physical toll of such training. Hearts racing, lungs burning, muscles screaming for relief. Yet they push on, knowing that in real combat, exhaustion could mean death. These drills were high-intensity intervals of survival, pushing cardiovascular limits and demanding peak physical conditioning. And this was just the training. Real combat was even more grueling, a test not just of physical prowess but of mental fortitude. Picture a battlefield, the chaos of hundreds of armored men locked in mortal struggle. The weight of armor, once a burden in training, now becomes a life-saving shell. Swords clash, arrows fly, and men fall. In this maelstrom of violence, every movement must be decisive. Every action fueled by the raw strength and endurance built through years of relentless training. The battlefield was the ultimate proving ground, where all the hours of sweat and toil would determine who lived and who died. For those who survived, the aftermath of battle brought its own challenges. Imagine the bone-deep exhaustion, muscles trembling from exertion, the weight of armor now an almost unbearable burden. Yet even in this state, vigilance was necessary. Camps had to be made secure, wounds tended to, weapons and armor repaired. This cycle of training, combat, and recovery was the harsh reality for medieval warriors. Their bodies were constantly pushed to the limits, naturally leading to a profound physical exhaustion that invited deep, effortless sleep. In the quiet hours after battle or training, these men would collapse into a rest so complete, so restorative that it seems almost unimaginable to our modern sensibilities. Their sleep was way more than just a break. It was a vital time for their bodies to do some serious repair work and bulk up. You know how after a tough workout you feel those muscles getting sore? Well, for these warriors, the muscles they strained during the day would start to mend, growing stronger and tougher than before. And let's not forget about their bones. Those were under constant pressure from the weight of heavy armor and the jarring impacts of battle. So during sleep, they'd actually become denser and more resilient, ready to take on the next fight. Now think about the physique of a knight at the peak of his game. Picture broad shoulders, all that strength from swinging around those hefty swords and axes. Their legs, super powerful, developed from hours spent riding and fighting in that heavy gear. And their core? It was like steel, thanks to the constant need for balance and stability while moving in all that armor. But it wasn't just about muscles. Their cardiovascular systems were top-notch, able to keep going during those long, grueling battles. Plus, their reflexes were lightning fast, trained to react instantly to any threat. Just imagine the adrenaline pumping as they faced off against an opponent, ready to defend themselves at a moment's notice. Their minds were really shaped by this intense lifestyle. Imagine living with the constant threat of violence hanging over you, right? It's not just about physical strength. It's about that unwavering focus in training and combat. This kind of pressure builds a mental toughness that's pretty hard for us to grasp in our cushy, safe modern lives. Think about it. They had to stay sharp and ready, always on guard, which is something we rarely experience today. It's like a whole different world where every moment counts, and that kind of mindset sticks with you, shaping how you view challenges and obstacles in life. Imagine a world where being strong isn't just cool, it's absolutely crucial for survival. Every warrior, from the most humble foot soldier to the fiercest knight, understood that their very existence hinged on their ability to fight. They had to endure pain and push their limits, transforming themselves into legends. Picture those epic battles where every swing of a sword or clash of shields could mean life or death. It's wild to think about, right? In this gritty reality, strength wasn't just an asset. It was the key to staying alive and earning respect in a brutal world. And yet, for all its brutality, there was a certain purity to this way of life. Imagine living in a world without modern conveniences, where every little comfort had to be earned through sweat and toil. These warriors had this incredible connection to their own bodies, feeling every muscle strain and every heartbeat as they fought. They understood the rhythms of exertion and rest, of struggle and triumph, in a way that's almost foreign to us today. As we lie here cozy in our modern beds, it's hard to truly grasp the physical realities of medieval warfare. The weight of the armor could feel like a mountain on your shoulders, and swinging those heavy weapons, it's no joke. After a long day of battling or training, the bone-deep exhaustion they felt was something we can only imagine. It's a far cry from our daily lives, isn't it? Yet perhaps in our dreams we can catch a glimpse of that incredible world. Just imagine the weight of a sword in your hand, the cool metal pressing against your palm, and the press of armor snug against your chest, feeling both powerful and restricted. Can you feel that surge of adrenaline as you face an opponent on the training ground, the anticipation of the clash echoing in your heart? In those moments, we can really appreciate the insane physical demands placed on these medieval warriors. Their lives were a constant test of strength, endurance, and sheer willpower. Every day was like a battle, whether they were fighting an enemy or pushing against their own limits. And every night, as they sank into the deep, restorative sleep of the truly exhausted, they prepared themselves for whatever challenges awaited them the next day. It's a cycle of relentless training and recovery that's hard to fathom. So as we drift off to sleep, let's carry with us a newfound respect for these men of steel and sinew. Let's marvel at their incredible strength, their unwavering endurance, and their commitment to their brutal craft. And while we're cozied up in our soft beds, let's take a moment to appreciate those peaceful nights that we so often take for granted, knowing that their lives were anything but restful. A whisper from the past. As our peaceful journey through time comes to a close, allow the quiet contemplation of medieval physical effort to settle gently within you. We've explored how their entire lives were a form of rigorous functional fitness. From plowing fields and building castles to fetching water and grinding grain, their bodies were constantly in motion, challenged by the necessities of survival. Imagine, if you will, the blacksmith's forge, the rhythmic clang of hammer on anvil echoing through the village. Picture the washerwoman, her arms aching, as she scrubs clothes against rough stones in the cold stream. See the woodcutter, his axe biting deep into ancient oaks, felling trees to warm homes and build shelters. These were not exercises chosen for health or vanity, but the very essence of their daily existence. Every step, every movement was imbued with purpose and necessity. They didn't choose to work out. They simply lived their workouts. And this constant, honest physical exertion led to a profound, deep exhaustion that was the most natural gateway to sleep. At day's end, their bodies craved rest with an intensity we can scarcely imagine in our modern world. My friend, perhaps in understanding their constant effort, you can find a unique sense of retrospective relaxation in your own present moment. Think about the comfort of your soft bed, a luxury beyond the dreams of most medieval folk. The quiet of your home, free from the constant bustle and noise of a crowded village or busy castle. Consider the freedom you have from constant, physically demanding labor. We often seek to create fatigue in our modern lives, to burn off energy through planned exercise or activities. But for medieval people, exhaustion was simply the natural conclusion of their day. Your body, my friend, inherently seeks balance. It desires to be used and then to rest deeply. While our lives are different, we can still learn from their natural path to sleep. Find your own way to gentle physical engagement, to release the day's mental energies, and allow your body to simply, peacefully rest. Imagine the medieval farmer returning home as the sun sets. His back aches from hours bent over in the fields, his hands calloused from the plow. As he settles onto his simple straw mattress, sleep comes swiftly, a well-earned respite from the day's toils. Or picture a castle maid, her arms weary from scrubbing floors and carrying heavy buckets. As she lays down in her small corner of the servants' quarters, her body sinks into a deep, restorative slumber, free from the restlessness that often plagues our modern nights. Even the knights and nobles, despite their elevated status, knew physical exhaustion intimately. Hours of combat training, the weight of armor, and the demands of governance all took their toll. When they retired to their chambers, sleep was not a struggle, but a welcome embrace. May this journey bring you a profound sense of tranquility. May it offer you a gentle invitation to your own deep, restorative slumber, knowing the profound peace that comes from a body truly ready for rest. As you lie in your bed, feel the softness beneath you. Let your muscles relax one by one, as if releasing the day's labors. Breathe deeply, imagining the clean night air of a medieval forest or the soothing quiet of a castle at rest. Allow your mind to drift not to the worries of tomorrow, but to the simple satisfaction of a day well lived. Like those who came before us, find peace in the knowledge that you have done what was needed, and now it is time to rest. If this quiet exploration brought you comfort, please consider subscribing to our channel for more journeys into tranquil, forgotten history. We'll continue to explore more paths to serenity together. And now, my friend, as we bid farewell to the medieval world and its lessons of true exhaustion, may you find your own path to peaceful slumber. Let the echoes of history guide you to a rest as deep and restorative as those our ancestors knew. Close your eyes now and find your own peaceful slumber. Let the worries of the modern world fade away, replaced by the simple, profound exhaustion of a day well lived. May your dreams be as peaceful as a quiet medieval night, and may you wake refreshed, ready to face your own adventures. Good night, dear listener. May your rest be as deep and rejuvenating as those who came before us, and may you carry with you the timeless wisdom of true, honest exhaustion. Sleep well, and we'll meet again on another journey